Hi, I'm Martin Stefanko, and you're watching SimNews.TV.
Hello and welcome to Parker's Pitstop. Today I have a man from the Czech Republic, which I think is a new one for this series. A man from the Czech Republic, and he's driving over in FSR and VGP, and he's making quite a few waves in the moment. He's doing very well for himself. It's Martin Stefanko. Say hello, Martin.
Yeah, hello. Thank you for the invite. Glad to be here.
So, Martin, where did sim racing begin? Where and when did the whole journey start for you?
Started in 2008 when I first saw on YouTube some Czech league called Max Power League racing on R Factor, and I was like, okay, this is a new thing for me, and it took me until 2010. That was when I joined. It was in May, June, somewhere like that, and I started with a keyboard actually. So, on a sim, it wasn't the best, but it was a WTCC, and didn't do really, really great at first. But then I got my first win. Started to win a couple of races, in national leagues and so on, and stayed there until mid 2016 when I finally decided that I want to go, international, so to say.
So, this year you're racing in the World Championship for Avid Chronic Racing. How do you feel about how the season's gone so far? How are you and Michi Hoyer, who I believe your teammate, feeling about the season?
Well, from my point of view, it was a little bit disappointing, compared to 2016 when I joined in August, when it was a mid-season. We had some pretty good results in 2016, got a couple of podiums, and I also fought for a win in the final race against Peter Briliak, who's the 2015 champion. And this year it really has gone our way. We're struggling with the setups a lot, so the car is not where we want it to be, and I've also done mistakes in the races, and I've also had some bad luck as well on strategy, rain, and so on, and also outside influence, and so yeah, it hasn't been really what we wanted. But hopefully, after the summer break, we're gonna come back and have a strong second half of the season. So hopefully, we're gonna finish somewhere in the top three.
Excellent stuff, and obviously, fingers crossed it'll all get better for you. Because I mean, you seem very, very talented, so I can't deny that bit. How much practice would you say goes into a race at FSR? Obviously, I think FSR might be viewed unfairly in some ways, fairly in some others, viewed as a league that's quite serious. Quite a lot of practice goes into it. How much practice would you regularly do for a race at FSR?
Yeah, well, FSR, it's there are a lot of talented guys, one of the quickest guys in the sim racing community. So obviously, if you want to win, you got to be prepared, 100%. So I would say like an hour or two per day, and you need to put a lot of time, in improving yourself overall and improving the setup, working out a strategy and so on. So you need to make sure that everything is perfect to win, and it's very, very hard to do because the competition is so big. So it's very tough, but yeah, like I said, around 1-2 hours a day.
So a lot of time then, obviously put into it. Obviously, for it's just a hobby for some people, but fair enough. I mean, if that's what your dedication is to win, fair play to you, and obviously it's going pretty well at the moment. So you compete in virtual GP as well for the Republic of Gamers, which is a bit of a different scene to FSR. How would you compare the two leagues, and what are key differences between those two?
Well, the difference is that basically in FSR you race in your home. You know, nobody is there with you. You're there alone and just focusing on yourself. While at virtual GP, you go to Prague and you race in a studio where the other 10 drivers are there. So it's very different. When you have a rivalry with someone, it's real. It's actually real. You see that driver, and so in that case, it's very different. And also in the race, the pressure is there because a lot of people, and you're not racing, you're not it's not, you don't have the comfort of being at home. So it's very different. Otherwise, I would say that we have some very, very talented guys in virtual GP as well. Jaroslav Hanzik, Michael Schmidl, who is a Team Redline driver. So yeah, we have a lot of talent there as well, and it's very tough to beat those guys, especially Schmidl. I mean, wow, he is very fast.
Yes, and actually, that does lead me on to my next question. I mean, you're doing very well. You've won a couple of races this year. Michael Schmidl is leading the championship, but do you think you can topple him, or are you just happy with how you're going on so far?
I think I could beat him because so far we've done 7 races, I think, and I have won 3 of them and won the last 2 in a row. So it's pretty good at the moment. I've had some bad luck in Spa when I was taken out twice, and I went from last to midfield to last to fourth in the end. So it was a good comeback, and I also used. I didn't have the best setup in like 4 races. I had a very good setup in Nürburgring, and I won there. And since then, we tried to improve that a little bit, but instead we went a step backwards. So in the next, I guess, 3 races, we had a worse setup than I had in Nürburgring. So I went back for the Nürburgring setup, and since then I started getting pole positions and wins again. So I'm gonna try and keep driving with that setup, and hopefully I can keep beating him, or at least be close to him, and hopefully win the championship in the end, because there's a big prize for the winner.
Absolutely. So fingers crossed for you, Martin. With VGP, so you said obviously you go to Prague, you do the racing there, and the pressure is real, like you said. But in terms of setup, do you have time to set the car up at Prague, or do you have to do a lot of it from home, or is it literally everything? You go to Prague, you do all your practice, your qualifying, your race, everything is there.
No, you do the practice and the setup work. You do that at home, so that's pretty good, because you can't really go to Prague whenever you want, because I live quite far from there. So yeah, it's not like in real F1. You go to the track and you have to start from zero. You have only a couple of hours to do everything. It's not exactly like that. You can do everything from your home. Then you just go there. You get used to it, used to a different wheel, and used to a different setup. So I guess that's the only thing you have to do before the race. So
Okay. So speaking of equipment on the racing wheel, what equipment do you use for racing? So your wheel, the racing rig, for example, a computer. What sort of specs do you have for your racing?
for a wheel, I have Trustmaster T300 with the F1 wheelbase, the Ferrari. As for pedals, I use the T3PA pedals. I didn't buy them. I have them. I borrowed them from the Virtual GP. So I used to race with Logitech Driving Force GT last year in FSR. So it's pretty good. It's a pretty good wheel, but compared to these wheels, it's a whole different level.
Absolutely. I mean, I used to use a DFGT myself actually a few years back. So I think it's a bit of an underrated wheel actually. But when you go to a new wheel, do you feel the difference? Can you feel like you've got a little bit of pace unlocked, or is it just a case of preferability for some people? So some people prefer Thrustmaster, some people prefer G27, G25. Do you think you found a bit more pace using the Thrustmaster wheel?
Um, I wouldn't say so. I think it doesn't really matter. I think from my point of view, for me personally, I think I can go fast with any wheel. So for me, it doesn't really make a lot of difference. It's just about the case of getting used to a different wheel. I might have a better feeling now than with the DFGT wheel, because it wasn't in the best shape. So I guess I feel a little bit better. The consistency overall is a bit better, but I think the overall performance, I think it doesn't really affect it too much.
Yeah, but I think I tend to agree. I mean, I've had plenty of wheels over the years. I've been doing it for 10 years now, and I've had 4 or 5 different make and model of wheel. And I don't think, like you said, you don't get any faster. I think a lot of people just get more comfortable with the wheel, just learning in yourself, really. So that's good to hear. Where's my question has gone? There we are. So, do you have any real life racing ambitions, or do you have any past experience in racing in real life, or is that very much a closed book at the moment?
Um, I would very much like, to become a real racing driver, but that's very, very hard to do, because financially it's very tough, and I don't come from a rich family at all. So for me it's very tough. But I have some experience. I have some karting experience, some regional championships. Just banter stuff, not really anything serious. And and I also competed in a competition in Slovakia on the Slovakia ring for a real racing seat. It involved physical tests and driving with the racing cars, driving in cars, and so on. And before I went there, I had zero experience at all. Zero experience at all with cars, with cars, or overall with overall a real racing experience or a driving experience at all. So I went there and I finished fourth as a Czech Republic driver. So I was the fourth best in Czech Republic, and I was 34th overall out of 175. So I think that's pretty. I thought it was pretty good, considering I had no experience before that in real racing. So yeah, and I was pretty young at that point. I was like 15, 16, and a lot of guys there were like in their 20s, and they already either had some experience in real racing or they had some experience in driving. So still I think I did pretty well there.
Absolutely, yeah. And obviously, maybe if the opportunity comes up again, you'll have the experience this time. And fingers crossed, you never know. Obviously, speaking of real life racing seats, McLaren have obviously released their simulator challenge. Obviously, where the prize at the end of the series is a seat for McLaren in the simulator. Is that something that interests you, or is that a bit of fun? But nah, not really my sort of thing.
I guess it's a big opportunity. You never know. It might never come again. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna give it a try if I can, and see what happens. You need to take every opportunity you get, because if you don't, you automatically lose. But if you take the chance, there's a chance it might go well for you. So I'm definitely gonna give it a shot and see what happens.
Very good stuff. Obviously, we're still waiting on the 100% details for that, but fingers crossed in the next few weeks or months we will find out, and hopefully we'll see you there. In terms of the year of sim racing, 2017, obviously you've gone through VGP, you've got FSR. What's your dream scenario for the ending of the year? Would you like to have the title in VGP just to get a win in the World Championship at FSR? What are you looking forward to before the end of the year?
For the end of the year, I definitely want to win the championship in Virtual GP. That's my goal, because I'm fighting for the title basically. And as a winner, you get a test with a racing team in the Formula Renault 2.0. So I think that would be a nice opportunity for me. But we'll see. As in FSR, I'm not really fighting for the title anymore, because, like I said, it wasn't the best start of the season. The setup wasn't the best, and quite struggling with the car, and also bad luck, mistakes, and so on. So I'm like 80, 90 points behind in the championship after like 7, 8 races. So that's quite a lot. So I guess I'm out of the title chase, but I would certainly like to get at least one win. That's my goal for this year in FSR.
Absolutely, and fingers crossed the luck's there for you, and obviously everything goes your way. Obviously, luck does play a lot with sim racing. We don't get the mechanical failures, but we get the computer failures. We get the weird track bugs that happen from time to time. So fingers crossed they won't happen again for you. Any interest in iRacing or any other simulators, or is R Factor 2 your thing?
I don't know what I'm exactly gonna do next year. I'm looking a lot at iRacing, Gran Turismo Sport, and Project Cars 2. I'm not sure if I'm gonna continue in FSR in 2018. I don't think I will, personally. But iRacing, we all know that iRacing is pretty expensive, so I guess I won't be doing iRacing. For Gran Turismo Sport, I would have to get a new wheel, and I would have to get a PS4, so I guess that's out of question as well. So I think I would say there's a 90% chance that I will be racing in Project Cars 2 in 2018 in the ESL championships and so on.
Wow, absolutely. Yes, Cars 2 comes out in a couple of, I think it's next month, isn't it? Also, not very long away, so maybe we'll see you there. So I think we'll finish it there, Martin. Thank you very much for joining me today. It's been a real good chat, actually. Very different, obviously, FSR. I've not personally had an FSR dedicated driver before, so it's nice to speak to you about that.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Absolutely, no problem. So, obviously, this is Parker's Pit Stop with Martin Stefanko. We are brought to you by SimNews.TV. If you want to search any more racing malarkey, such as videos or pictures, for example, visit us on Facebook, SimNews.TV, or search for us on YouTube, SimNews.TV again. Thank you very much for listening, and I will see you all in a couple of weeks' time. Thank you very much.